Welcome everybody back to Boost Emotion, guys. And today I want you guys to watch this video because you guys already see the title. So before I put the video up though, if you are part of the Boost Emotion family and you are subscribed to this channel, you guys should please hit the like button. Guys, if you love this channel, you want this channel to continue to grow, if you are a subscriber, you should be part of the like squad regardless of whatever I put up, guys. Every like supports the channel. YouTube grants and rewards the YouTube channel that get the most likes. Most of the guys who have big channels have a bunch of likes from their subscribers. Anyways, if you're new to this channel, definitely watch the video, watch a couple other videos, and if you like the channel, hit the subscribe button with the bell notification and hit all. Anyways, drop that video. Welcome everybody back to Boost Emotion, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you. Alright, welcome back. So you saw this video, and shout out to both the owners of these cars. Shout out to both of them. But this video is going to mainly talk about my Infiniti gang because I'm part of the Infiniti gang. How do you guys beat a B58, right? And I'm going to give a slight bit of a monologue, and then we're going to talk a little bit more deeply into it. Number one, how to beat a B58. Why is this even a question? Honestly, guys, both of these cars are pretty evenly matched. So I'm going to make this statement because I made this video before, but I'm going to go a little deeper into it this time. Both cars are pretty evenly matched, but one car comes from factory a little bit more well-equipped. 340s, 440s, any B58 BMW and/or the Toyota BMW Supra come well equipped with electronic differential. This is really good. These cars also come with some kind of launch control from factory, which is pretty good, which comes with a better, more sophisticated all-wheel drive system, which is freaking good. And these cars on average are about 100 to 150 pounds lighter, with the exception of the B58, which is like 3,300 pounds B58 Supra. All right, now knowing that, and these cars are also single turbo versus our twin turbo. Peep that. We do have two turbos over them. They have single turbo. Think about that. That's not even a handicap. We actually have two turbos over them. But everything else, they're more well equipped than us. All right, now that we got that out the way, all right, you guys can see their advantages and you can see our advantage. All right, now moving forward, I'm going to use horsepower goals so that you guys can understand why it's so hard to take on a B58 when it's evenly matched. If they want to get a simple 450 horsepower, all they need is basically 1 to 2 modifications. Pretty much just one. Downpipes and a tune. That is it. They just need a downpipe and tune. They could pretty much make 450 horsepower just on tune alone, to be quite honest with you guys. Just tune alone. Right? Second thing, for us to make 450 wheel horsepower, we're not making that on just downpipes and a tune. It's very hard to do this on 93 fuel. On our platform, we need a heat exchanger so we can make consistent performance, because that's very important. We're going to need a downpipe, either a lower downpipe or or full catless or full 3-inch catted downpipe. In this case, it's recommended just to get the full 3-inch catless or catted downpipe. This will help with peak wheel horsepower numbers, right? And we'll need a flowy exhaust, 2.5-inch to 3-inch exhaust, to make 450 wheel horsepower on this platform, period. Some people say intakes. I'm saying, you don't really need intakes. I'm going to say, put that out there, you don't really need intakes. Reason being is, this car right here, to make 455 wheel horsepower, has true dual 3-inch exhaust, 93 fuel, and full 3-inch catted downpipe. And it was like in 70 to 80 degree weather. This is by one of the best tuners in the platform. Shout out to Racebox for him. So, off that alone, you have to spend all that extra money just to make similar power of the B58 to compete. So this is one reason why people argue, oh, what does it take to be a B58? You're going to have to unevenly match him. What I mean by that is you're going to have more mods than him, honestly. And that would that be a fair race? No. Now, to make 500 wheel horsepower on a B58, this doesn't matter if it's a Supra 340 or 340 or 440, because that's mainly the people who usually get these cars. All they need is downpipes. Get ready again. Downpipes. 30% mixture ethanol, pretty much E30, right? And a tune, pretty much. That's it. Once again, one modification and the fuel, and that's it. Now, some of the older B58s on the older 340s and 440s, they do need to upgrade. They can't upgrade their high pressure fuel pump to the newer ones, which is like its own cheater code, because it's not that expensive compared to so in a way, they're not using an aftermarket part to bump up the fuel pressure. They're using an OEM part that just comes on the newer B58s. So that is recommended for the older B58s to do so. But even then, I'll throw that in there. OEM high pressure fuel pump. Boom. So 2 modifications. High pressure fuel pump, right? Low downpipe, full downpipes, and a tune for E50. Car will make like 520 wheel horsepower. Cool. How does a Q50, Q60, right? How do they make 500 wheel horsepower, right? Because I'm on that journey right now. I'm living in the source right now, and there's plenty of people on the internet who's been here before. And I'm gonna tell you guys with complete all honesty, it ain't gonna be 2 modifications. Okay? It's not gonna be 2 modifications to make 500 wheel horsepower on this car. If it's talking about apples to apples here, it's not gonna exist. Okay? It's not gonna exist. I'm gonna tell you right now what you're gonna need. So for the VR30 to make 500 wheel horsepower with basically similar modifications, you're gonna need full catted or full catless downpipes. Period. That's number one. You're going to need that. Some tuners are going to stay full catless because you want to make sure that you can pick up all those little bit of horsepower. 2, you're going to need a flowy exhaust. Usually, tuners have stated that true dual exhaust, 3 inches. Some people have gotten pretty close to that number on 2.5-inch exhaust. It all depends on the structure, on how this exhaust is designed. So to make sure it has a scavenging effect. But to keep it completely honest with you guys, 3-inch exhaust. Something similar to what I have on my car right now, which is a AIM competition 3-inch true dual exhaust. Something similar to that, or MBRP. Now, it's recommended now that you should have intake, some kind of aftermarket intake system. Even though the OEM intake system works quite well, you might need to. That tuner might push those turbos a little bit higher for higher PSI. So you just want to make sure that there's no drag on trying to build up the amount of boost in that car. So it's recommended to get intakes. So we already have 3 modifications. once again, now we're still going to need a heat exchanger to have consistent performance. Not saying it's not needed, but you want that consistent performance. You're going to need a heat exchanger. All right. Now that we made it here, give me 1 second, guys. Now that we made it here, right? You're going to need a flex fuel kit because you need to read the amount of flex fuel. You know what? I apologize. I should have also included 3 modifications for the B58 that they should install a flex fuel kit. So let's just add that original modification of flex fuel kit for the B58. Let's add that in there. You should do that. Now, that brings them to 3 mods, right? Now to go us, we're gonna need a flex fuel kit because we're gonna need to know what we run in E30, right? And it is also recommended because you want to be able to really make that 500 wheel horsepower. You're gonna need a low pressure fuel pump, because here's the best caveat about this: you're gonna need a low pressure fuel pump, flex fuel kit, and you're gonna go with a higher. You're gonna need to go with a higher percentage of E85. What do I mean by that? So the low pressure fuel pump will get you between E30 to about almost up to E50. But on this platform, based on the modifications for these cars, for you to hit 500 wheel horsepower, you're going to need a high pressure fuel pump, because you're going to be going to that E50, E60 territory to make that 500 wheel horsepower. On the B58, you can be on E30, E40, and be well above 500 wheel horsepower. So our max effort on the way the components already are set up in the car, you're gonna just make 500 wheel horsepower on like E60, E50, E60. And you have to buy the high pressure, low pressure, and flex fuel. The B58, they didn't need to do that. They might have needed to buy the OEM fuel pump. We'll have to buy the aftermarket ones that are about $1,200, right? Now you see where we have to do. We have to do all this extra just to make similar wheel horsepower, right? You guys are like, okay, cool. This is not bad, but here's now the best part about this. And I'm saying the best part because no one really pays attention to this. We have reliability issues once we go fully 85 and we add a high pressure fuel pump. We start blowing injectors. We still don't know if it's the fuel rail that's deteriorating because of the added resonance or vibration from the high pressure fuel pump, but we start losing injectors. So to add in, some people, what they choose to do is they go with different injectors and a new fuel rail. That's what AMS has stated. Change out your fuel rail and go with different aftermarket injectors. So if you want to have a bit more reliability and going full 85, it is recommended that you go with an aftermarket injector and buy two new fuel rails. These fuel rails are about 2 to 3. You couldn't go a little faster than that, man? Jesus Christ. You'll need these 2 new fuel rails. That also brings the price again of everything. You're adding another $1,200 for injectors, and you also add in another $600 for fuel rails. This is just to make 500 wheel horsepower max effort on pretty much similar stock OEM parts. And the B58 is doing this on their high pressure fuel pump upgrade, depending on the year of the car, right? And downpipes. Everything else is stock. We still ain't talked about the catback exhaust. So this is what it takes to be a B58. So anyone that's watching, I'm keeping it honest with you. Is the B58 that much more superior? No, it's the car comes better right out the gate. There's some things that just work, that just already are taken care of. They put more engineering into it. And remember, they're doing this on a single turbo, and we have 2 turbos. Now that we just have 500 wheel horsepower on E85, anything above this when you're changing turbos is up in the air, because now the numbers start getting a little bit more even though the prices that you pay on the B58 will be a little cheaper. If you're comparing a B58 Super to any Q50, Q60, you're retarded. Sorry, I'm saying that on YouTube. The car is about 600 to 700 pounds lighter. you're going to literally need a handicap. The Q50, Q60 is going to need a handicap because it's already 700 pounds heavier. So it's going to need, that B58 is going to need to be like 93 tuned. Their 93 tuned B58 Supra is for us to beat them, we're going to need like E85 500 wheel just to be door to door with them because of weight, period. And you guys don't even understand the idea of weight. I don't understand like power versus weight. Like you guys are like, you must be new to like ever with cars. When the car is 700 pounds lighter, they don't have to do as much, period. So I'm gonna close out this video and I'm gonna give you some of my final thoughts briefly. So let's get to that part. After you change those turbos, it's all up in the air because you guys are gonna be spending a lot of money no matter what platform you're on. B58, after 700 wheel horsepower, you're really going to be trying to look into building that transmission. Same thing for the motor, rods and pistons. It's already closed deck. Same thing for the VR30. You're going to start wanting to build the motor, once again, rods and pistons. Definitely the tranny too. Both of these cars have their upper glass ceilings, and I realize once you get to a certain wheel horsepower, you're going to have to definitely go deep dive into the motor, transmission, and specifically turbos. Remember this. On the B58, you're going to be replacing the turbo with either an upgraded turbo, which is usually a turbine wheel, right? Their upgraded turbo numbers are making similar upgraded turbo numbers compared to our VR30. So that's pretty fair there. But remember, once again, they only got one turbo. We have two, and we both making similar power. Someone here needs more help. And full replacement turbo, the B58s, they have that. What I mean by full replacement turbo is there's an aftermarket turbo kit or turbo that they can install that's a complete upgraded non-OEM turbo, which means you're not replacing the turbo wheel, you're replacing the whole turbo itself and or manifold that may be also linked with it. Now that gives more CFM of air, more PSI, and the B58, that really awakens the B58. For the VR30, we still lack that in this platform. People that still forget, like we still lack that. We have AMS that still sells their kit. Barely anyone really buys it, right? Because AMS installs it themselves. A shout to Mike Mixon from Drop Bear LLC. His kit was supposed to be dropped earlier this year in 2021. He ran into supply issues and other issues going on. So this has never been released yet. So we're still waiting for VR30 fully upgraded replacement turbos. But knowing where this glass ceiling is for this platform, once again, once you get these turbos, you're going to also need to do some other modifications to the fuel system, so on and so forth. Same thing for the B58. When you get the full replacement turbo, once again, you start need to go more into the fueling and look into this and make sure everything is running tip top. So upgraded turbos and up is going to be very similar. And at that point, it's really just whoever's built the best. But at the end of the day, I made a draggy video talking about currently in 2021 who is currently faster, and the B58 is still currently faster for the 340s and 340s and 440s because they have full turbo replacements out there already. But when we're talking about just upgraded turbo wheels, these cars are still very similar in the amount of times they put down on the draggy and mile an hour. If you want to talk about grudge racing and street racing, which we see here, I'm not going to really pick on that. What I'm going to say there was this. One car came more ready to fight, and the other one didn't. When it comes down to traction and cold temperature and prep and stuff, it's a lot different. You can't come out here and just come out here with all season tires and launch. If you want to get into drag racing, if you want to get into street racing, you have to come out here and you have to be the best that you could possibly be. That's why I said to you guys, B58, 340s, 440s, any car with B58, they come from factory with just more goodies to make sure the car launches right and runs right and you don't have to do too much. The 430 VR30s just do not have that option. They don't. And we'll have to spend extra money on an LSD, which is pretty much still more of a mechanical and an LSD. All-wheel drive controller such from AMS, or shout out to Boostfin, also sells an all-wheel drive controller. This helps us with better launching so we don't go in lit mode. We have to do all these little things just to make sure that we at least come to the party to actually be just level with them. Those cars just come a little bit easy, comfort factor, a little bit more well equipped when it comes to performance. So outside of that, guys, I made this a heavy video. I really didn't go too much into the numbers after a certain point because it doesn't make sense, because it's more even. But when you're talking about for the regular day person that gets a VR30, B58, or a VR or B58 or VR30, their cars just have to do less. That's it. That's honestly it. The cars have to do less, and if they want to get to more higher wheels power, they still have to do less than us. They still spending money like us, and they'll still get the same outcomes, but they just have to spend less money with less effort. That's honestly really it. We're not getting into the idea of interior quality, BMW versus Infiniti. No, this is just performance from what I can see, and plus because I'm on a journey of getting this car more wheel horsepower. I know this. I've been in this platform for about 6 years, and I've been following the B58 platform for quite a long time, at least 3 years now. All right. So outside of that, guys, you have good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I hope you guys hit the like button at the start of the video. If you didn't hit it, please hit it now. I appreciate it. Also, comment below. I love the banter between B58 and VR30 platform. I love it. But at the end of the day, it's just a fun rivalry, and just leave it at that. Don't get all butthurt and emotional, guys. All right. Outside of that, guys, contact me at BoostEmotion.g, Facebook, and BoostEmotion@gmail.com. Otherwise than that, guys, you know what to do. Continue to support the Boost Emotion family. I try my best to give informative information. Hopefully, I continue to get you guys support into 2022. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. You have a good day. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also, on top of that, if you want to purchase some Boost Emotion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.